Hi, welcome back to my channel. This book review is from Millstone of Doubt by Vetsch. I love the first book in this series. Well, what series is it? The series is The Thorndyke and Swan Regency Mysteries. Book number 1 was The Debutante's Code, which I read about a year ago, and then this one here is Millstone of Doubt. Now, we have two characters, Lady Julia Thorndyke and Bow Street runner Daniel Swan. They make a very fine pair of amateur sleuths who they make a fine pair of investigators. She as an amateur sleuth, Daniel as a Bow Street runner. The thing is, both Daniel and Lady Juliet are drawn to one another, but this book reminds us of the era, which is the Regency era, and we have stations. Lady Juliet is of the peerage, Daniel is not. So how in the world could they possibly even act or even think about acting on the draw that they have towards one another? So while this is a fairly well historical, cozy mystery, there's a bit of romance in there because the reader has to see how that relationship between Daniel and Juliet might possibly flourish, if at all. Now, in this particular story, Juliet's friend, and what is her name? I want to say Antoinette, but that seems too long. Agatha. Juliet's friend, Agatha Montgomery's father is killed, and Juliet is determined to figure out what happened, and by so doing, she takes on the role of asking as many people as many questions as possible. But as she does this, she finds out that they all pretty much have a motive for murdering Agatha's father. Now, meanwhile, Daniel is also digging through suspects, so they're working concurrently for the most part. Now, with Lady Agatha being part of the ton, she has a little bit more insight as to what possibly could have happened to Agatha's father than, say, Daniel does. And then you have the fact that they are working together. And then you factor that in to all of the secondary characters. So if you have read the first book in this series and you started to get to know Lady Juliet and you get to know Daniel, then you get to see how the book develops. Now, as you read this book, you're going to read it from Juliet's perspective and from Daniel's perspective. And I love that because I'm going to use my hands again to show the differences in the caste system at that time, where he's a Bow Street runner and she's a lady of the peerage. Now, there is a great ending to this book. It really is. And I'm telling you, because on the one hand, it solves the mystery. We find out what happened to Agatha Montgomery's father, but we also see what and how and if any type of future could exist between Lady Juliet and Daniel. And how it came about was thoroughly entertaining, thoroughly enjoyable, made this read super easy to follow and possible to put down, and something that really warmed my heart. And it has me excited for the third book in this series. And I'm going to tell you something, even though this is book number 2, yes, it could be read as a standalone, so don't worry about it if you don't get to read the Debutante's Code. But I'm telling you that if you do read this one here, Millstone of Doubt, you'll definitely want to follow with the third book, because there's just something about the ending. I can't tell you what it was because I don't want to give you a spoiler, but there's something about the ending that just gives you a pull into book number 3. So that is Millstone of Doubt by Vetsch. I want to thank you for watching. Bye-bye.